In this video, we will be covering batch importing of samples using the Import Samples tool in FreezerPro. Note that the power user role in the system is the lowest ranked role that permits a user to use the Import Samples function. To begin, open Microsoft Excel to create a CSV file. A CSV file can also be created in a simple word processor such as Notepad. The first row of the CSV file will be the header row, which is case sensitive. Each CSV file has certain required headers in order to be successfully imported into FreezerPro. We will start by doing an advanced import, which requires the headers of name, freezer, level 1, level 2 if applicable, level 3 if applicable, box, and position. Type these headers in the cells of row 1. Row 2 is the start of the sample information. Simply type in the sample's name and location information to tell FreezerPro what to name the sample and where to store it. There are many optional column headers which can be used to enter more information into FreezerPro when importing samples. All of these optional headers are listed in the Importing Sample Records section of the user guide. Examples include all user-defined fields, expiration, owner, and sample type. Note that if sample type is not listed as a header in the CSV file, it must be defined when importing the sample records. Once the file has been created and saved, open FreezerPro and click on the Actions menu. Click Import Samples to bring up the advanced import options. The strict import option will not allow sample records to be imported unless every user-defined field for the sample type is present. Deselect this option to allow skipping of the fields that are not defined in the sample type. Use the File field to select the CSV file for importing sample records. If sample type is not defined in the CSV file, check the Specify Sample Type to Import option and choose the appropriate sample type. The Automatically Create Freezers, Subdivisions, and Boxes option can be used to create a new location where the new sample records will be located in FreezerPro. Check this option unless you are importing into freezers and boxes that have already been created. Once all of the options have been selected in the dialog, click Import. A status bar will appear until the success message at the end of the import shows. To do a quick import, navigate to the box under Freezers and Boxes to which you would like to import the sample records. Right-click on the appropriate box and select Import Samples. The only required field in a quick import CSV file is the name column, though many others can still be used. Select the file under the File option and define the sample type if not already done so in the CSV file. The Continue Import into Next Box option will fill the selected box and start to fill the next box in the freezer or subdivision if the selected box does not contain enough room for all of the sample records in the CSV file. Note that the user must have access permissions to all boxes for this operation to succeed. Once all options have been selected, click the Import button to perform the import. A quick import can also be performed from within a box. First, open the box you'd like to import into. Click on any empty well, then right-click on Select Import Samples. All options here act as the same as the quick imports performed outside the box view. The only difference is the option to start import from selected position. As the name suggests, a quick import can fill a box with samples starting with the selected position. From there, the box will be filled from left to right, top to bottom. This concludes the batch importing of samples using the Import Samples tool video tutorial. Up next, we will discuss the Update Samples tool. To review, sample records can be automatically imported into FreezerPro from a CSV file. To perform an advanced import, required column headers include name and location information, including position. To perform a quick import, only the name header is required. For all imports, the sample type must be defined either in the CSV file as a header or the import dialog box in FreezerPro. There are several other optional headers, including all of the user-defined fields and those fields listed in the FreezerPro user guide.